Hello and welcome to a quick look at Ministry Scheduler. Here we are on the home screen. The minister who wants to sign up can click the sign up form and they can enter their basic information and choose the Mass and the role that they'd like to take. If, for example, you'd rather they did not sign up for this themselves, you can turn this sign up form off and you can manually add the ministers. Or you can allow them to sign up and then require that you approve them first before they are added to schedules. Okay, view schedules, we'll take a look at that. This again is how the minister would view the schedule. They can click here. Here we have the schedule password on, so the minister would need to know the password to log in, and then they can see upcoming schedules. They can also request a sub from here. This is a very neat feature. We do not require the ministers to create accounts. They do not need a username and password. You will not have to manage their username and passwords. It's all done through email links. So if a minister comes and realizes that they need a sub, they can click request a sub. They enter their email address and they're quickly sent a special link that they can click on, and through that link they can request a sub, and then an email goes out to all the people of their role to fulfill the sub request. So we use the security of their email accounts instead of making them create usernames and passwords, which they appreciate because it's difficult to manage so many usernames and passwords, and is also a big time saver for you because the ministers will not need to reach out to you with help logging into the system. If a minister for some reason does not check email or use email, they can always reach out to you directly and you can request subs through the system manually. Let's take a look now at what things look like for you as the admin. Of course, that's password protected. The first thing you do when you log in is you will create roles. We've already created them here, but you can keep adding them. So you just type in the name of your role and click add, and it gets added to the list. You can change the name of your role if you need to, or remove it. We'll remove this one for now. So that's how you create roles. Create as many as you like, or if you have special names or unique names, not a problem. You're the one who creates the roles. After making the roles, you go into Mass times, and you can choose a day and a time, and you add your Mass to the schedule. And we see our masses here. Once your mass is added to the list of possible masses, you can click on it. You can change the time and day of this mass if you ever need to. And this is very important. Here is where you assign the number of ministers that are needed for that particular mass. So here are the roles that we created on the previous page, and we can assign how many people are needed for each of these roles. So this does allow you to have different numbers of roles for each mass. Okay, let's take a look now at ministers. Here is where the list of all of our ministers are. We can search for them by name, and we can also search for them by mass and by role. So you could pull up all of the lectors for the Sunday Mass if you liked. You can also add a minister manually. So if you turned off the sign-up form, you could add the ministers yourself, or if just for some reason you need to manually add in a minister, you can. And then you can also go in and edit the information for the minister. Maybe you need to update their email address or phone number, or change their role, or give them a second role. You can do that all in here. All right, now it's time to take a look at schedules. This is obviously the most powerful part of the program. To create a schedule, you simply pick your start date. Schedules can be as long as you want. A lot of churches do 3-month schedules, but you could do a month. You could even do 6 weeks. Whatever works for you, you're picking start and end dates right off the calendar. So we'll make one for August. We click Make Schedule, and it's added here. And let's go ahead and take a peek at this schedule. And we see that very, very quickly, all of our ministers were randomly given their assignments based on the role and time of Mass that they preferred. You'll also see that there are nice notes here that tell you what all of the buttons do. So it's as if the tutorial is built into the program itself. If you, for some reason, need to switch out one of these people, maybe you look right away and you just know that someone needs to be switched or moved, you can click on this icon and you can choose from where you're going to get the sub or the replacement. You could look at other lectors at this Mass time only, or you can look at all lectors regardless of Mass time. Type in their name, or just select their name, click Save, and the request is made. You can also send out a sub request manually from here. If you push this button, an email goes to all the other lectors, and they can respond to the link and fulfill the sub request. Let's go ahead and do that now, just so that we can show you what happens in the schedule area. We're told the request has been sent, and we'll see a new icon appeared here, and that is telling us, here's a little legend that explains to us, this tells us that a sub request has gone out. So we can quickly look and see who is requesting subs. If we click and look at this person now, we're reminded a sub request has gone out. We could send the email again, or we could just wait and see if it's fulfilled, or we could manually fulfill it here as well. Okay, we'll go back into our schedule. Other powerful things you can do from here, once you've made any initial switches that you think you need to make, you can click the email button, and this schedule is emailed to everyone. It's emailed in two ways. One, they receive a link to look at the schedule, but even more importantly, they receive a lineup of their particular days of service and roles all in a row or in their email, and next to each of their date of service is a request a sub link. So if they receive their email, they've got 4 upcoming assignments, and they realize that they need a sub for one of them, they click the find a sub link, and they're asked to confirm, and when they confirm, just like as if you click the find a sub request link, they send out an email automatically. The system sends out the email. All of the people of the same role receive an email, and they can respond and fulfill that request. So if Suzanne clicks the link in her email and asks for a sub, the green icon will appear here, and you'll know that Suzanne has requested a sub and that that sub request is out. As soon as someone fulfills it, this icon goes away and the new name appears. This view of the schedule, as well as the public view of the schedule, they're being updated in real time. So the schedule is fluid. If they are changing spots and subbing, they're going to be able to see that on the live view of the schedule. Now let's take a look at that live view of the schedule, just so you have an idea what that might look like. Here we are looking at that live view of the schedule. This URL, you could copy it out of your browser and paste it into an email yourself, or link to it from your website. So this is the schedule that the ministers can see and view. If you'd like, you can password protect this if you want to give a little bit of protection to these names. That is built into the system as well. So while the ministers can click the find a sub links in the original schedule email, they also can come here and request a sub. Again, they do not have to sign in with a username and password. They enter their email address, and the system will send them an email with the request a sub link. So again, we're using the security of their email program instead of requiring them to create usernames and passwords for this program. So they'll receive the email, they'll click the find a sub, request a sub link, and then the request a sub email goes out. Now, if, for example, you have someone in the family who's managing the accounts for perhaps their son or daughter is an altar server, and they themselves are a lector, and they're using the same email address. When they fill out this form here, they actually will get the request to sub links for all the people in the family using that email address. So we just want to make sure that they click on the find a sub for the lector or for the altar server. And many times maybe the family is going to be out of town, so they really do want both links anyways, because if they're both serving, they both might need a sub. So let's go back to the admin area. Let's take a look at what it looks like to click print. This is very nice. The schedule is made ready for a printer. We see the page breaks for each date. You might have more masses and, of course, more roles, so you'd fill more of the page. But this is all made print ready, so you can just print this and hang it out or distribute it, the physical copy, if you would like. And of course, you can delete the entire schedule if you maybe made a mistake, or the time has passed, or for any reason you don't want this schedule. You could delete it and make another one. Let's go look at settings. Here we can decide whether the ministers can sign up on their own. If we say no, then that sign up form we showed you on the home page is not available. We have it set to yes, and then this also determines whether or not the minister requires approval. So let's go take a look at what it might look like for a minister to sign up. We'll put in their info here. So the sign up form is turned on, but we are requiring approval. They receive some basic information, and they're told that they receive an email with more information, and your contact info as an admin appears for them as well. Now let's take a look at the ministers, and we have our brand new test has appeared here, and we're told that this person is pending approval. So if you make a schedule now, test will not appear. They filled out the form, but you want to require approval, and you can go in here, you can make sure their info is right, make sure perhaps that you know them or that they've passed training, whatever requirements you might have, and then you just switch them from pending to approved and click Save Changes. And here we had to click refresh, we see that they have moved from pending to approved. So test can now be added to schedules. Let's see what else is in settings. Does the public schedule require a password? We can set that from no to yes. And if yes, here is the password. Another amazing feature is that you can email everyone right from Ministry Scheduler. You can email all roles at all masses, or you could email all lectors at Sunday or all lectors at all masses. So you get to decide which groups and which masses you want to email. Type in your subject and the body of the email, click send, and they all receive that email. So you don't have to keep any personal email contacts up to date. This is automatically up to date with everyone who is an approved minister in your minister list. And let's take a look at everything else just to review. Roles are set here, mass times are set here, and you assign the number of ministers for each role at each mass. Edit minister details here, approve them if needed, and then you can create schedules here, and you can view schedules here. You can go in and manually change a spot. You can send out a sub request. You can get the public URL for a schedule, and you can print the schedule. So these are all the things that you can do with Ministry Scheduler. Of course, the most powerful feature is that it makes this schedule for you very, very quickly and allows you and the ministers to do sub requests and update the schedule in real time. Then, of course, there's some security built in, and you can stay in contact with all of your ministers. So a very powerful feature that makes it very easy for you to stay in touch with your ministers and to keep all of your masses scheduled appropriately and quickly. If you have any questions or need any help, please email or call us. Thanks so much.